Bueno, señores, ahora sí, miren a quién les traigo aquí. Su nombre es Mark Cargile y pues él es el que va a correr en contra. Él es el que va a correr en contra de Norma Torres, pero antes de que él corra en contra de Norma Torres, vamos a hablar de lo que son las primarias, que es algo bien importante, y también vamos a hablar de quién es él y también cuál va a ser su plan de migración. Así que estén pendientes, quédense al final de este video porque vamos a hablar de plan de migración. So, Mike, how you doing today, buddy?
I am doing so good. I am so blessed. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you to just come in here and have fun, you know.
Yeah.
So tell people that watch the videos, who is Mike? Who's Mike Cargile?
Well, Mike Cargile is el hombre de familia.
Yeah, I got that. We got that. We understood that.
Yes, I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have 4 dogs.
Look at that. I had 2 in here.
Yeah, no, I have 2 Great Danes, and then 2 little ones. And I love my dogs. But I am a filmmaker. I was in the Army. I'm an Army veteran. And I've been in business. I used to work with the Power Rangers years and years ago.
So the Power Rangers, the ones on the TV?
Yeah. I did licensing for the products for the Power Rangers for a little bit, and I'm blessed. I've been in the music industry. I'm out here in Hollywood, so I've done everything I could come across, and then I saw that no one was running against Norma Torres.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna see that. Okay.
Yes, because she does not represent anything I believe in, anything I support. First and foremost, I should have said I'm a Christian, and that's where I get my values from. My values for life and for family, and for all these other things. The ability of a person to defend their family. And Norma is opposed to everything I believe in, and so I had to run. I had to oppose this, because she doesn't represent me or my community in Washington, D.C. She only represents herself, like all these other politicians.
Okay, so yeah, we noticed that because when we went to the MacArthur Park in California, that's the first time that I met you in person. And tell us about the immigration plan that you had, because you kind of talk a little bit about that. But so, what's the plan that you have for that?
It's the best plan in the country, absolutely. It's to fix DACA. It's to fix guest worker. It's to fix all of the fear that people have in the district. Some are illegal. They have family and friends who are here illegally. What nobody tells them is that coming to the United States illegally is only a misdemeanor. But if they vote, it's a felony. It's a big, big deal. And so they're using people for their vote. But basically, after we secure the southern border, it's a 3-year period where people can register to become citizens of the United States. Not green cards, not temporary. It is citizenship. But you must prove what you did with your time while you were here. Did you pay your taxes? Did you do the things that a good citizen would do? And we're going to look at you. And if you've done just that, if you've been a good citizen without being a good citizen, once in a lifetime opportunity, we're going to, I call it expedited citizenship. We're going to take all of these people who are applying to become citizens of the United States and move them to the front of the line. This is not amnesty. This is not amnesty, because you still have to do everything to become a citizen. But we're going to expedite, move to the front of the line, this entire process, so that we can fix it once and for all, and fix it quickly. And I have had both parties oppose me. Both parties don't want to fix this because they make so much money off of opposing illegal immigration and all this. I am so sick of this. And more than anything, as a Christian, I'm sick of seeing the people in my district live in fear. I want to fix it once and for all. But, if you've abused your time here, if you're a felony, a felony offender, you've done bad things, then no, you've abused your time in the United States. But if you've been a good citizen, we want you here.
You mentioned something interesting. You just say citizenship. It's not It's not a green card. I mean, it's not. It's just we're talking about citizenship, right?
Yes.
Okay, because the thing is that what I noticed, especially Hispanics, is that okay, we go and vote for Democrats because they are the ones that talk about immigration issues. And I remember that when President Joe Biden came to the office, it was like the first 100 days we're gonna give you something, and nothing happened. But if we're talking about citizenship, that's a big deal for our Hispanics that live here, especially when you mention about pay the taxes, have a good record, all of those things. I think are very important. So that's the plan that you have, right?
Yes, in a nutshell. I can go into detail with it, but for time, that is the plan. In 3-year period, I want to make millions of people citizens of the United States if they have been operating as a good citizen already. And this is something they'll have to prove, and we will investigate it. But if it's true, we're going to make you a citizen of the United States. And then we're done with this whole immigration issue. I want to fix it once and for all. Well, and here's the other key to this. People say, how on earth are you going to do it? Like you just said, Joe Biden lies. Everybody lies about this because they don't actually want to fix it. That's the truth. There's all kinds of money made off of services and all this stuff for people who get here illegally. This is the truth. I need to get the entire Hispanic, Latino community behind me. All of them. I mean, from Puerto Rico to El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, everybody needs to get behind me in this race. That way, when I go into Congress, after I remove Norma Torres, we have tens of millions of people behind Mike Cargile and the Cargile plan. And that will allow me to tell these other people in Congress, you will work with me, or these people behind me are going to remove you from office. Just like they put the new governor of office in Virginia into office, we can take you out of office. So I'm going to come in there with this mandate from the Latino, Hispanic community. You fix it. We like the Cargile plan, and you're going to work with him, or we're going to start removing you from office.
Yeah. I think we need that because the past month, I think the bill didn't pass or something like that. So we need, we don't know where to go. That's the thing, is that we don't have any like a leader that goes there and say, okay, we go to this and make it happen. So let's talk about how you're gonna get to the Congress. So let's talk about the primary, right? Because things needs to happen first. Okay, what's the primary that you have? Okay, because you're gonna run against Norma Torres.
Yes.
So when is the primary, and what is all about?
Okay, so the primary is June 7th. Now, California is a little bit different than a lot of states with our primary election. We have what's called a closed primary, in that only Republicans can vote for Republicans in the primary. This is different than November. But in June 7th, only Republican voters can vote for me. Democratic voters can only vote for Norma Torres. And then the top 2 people who get the most vote advance to November. And so in California, if the top 2 vote getters are Democrats, then 2 Democrats go to November. It doesn't matter party. It matters the number of votes that they get.
Okay.
So knowing this.
So how you get how do you get how do you get the votes? How do you get the votes from?
Well, I in June only Republican voters can vote for me.
Okay.
So I have to get all of the Republicans to vote for me. So there's a lot of people, who live in the district who are from, El Salvador and Mexico and Guatemala. They have to register as a Republican voter in order to vote for me in June.
Okay. How they register? You know how they can do it?
Yes, they can go to my website.
Okay. So that's your website, right?
Right, and see next steps.
So you go to next steps, and then register to vote, right?
There you go.
Okay, so when we go there, I think we had to go down, I believe, and it says, check your voter registration, right?
Correct.
So we go there, and then everybody can go. Only the people that lives on District 35, right, can go in here and register, and they have to register as a Republican, right?
Republican. Correct.
And I believe they can go to the California Secretary of State. I believe so, right? I mean,
Well, that's when you click that link, it will take you right to the California Secretary of State.
okay, yeah, I see now. So that's how they can register, right? Because that's the thing. The thing is that a lot of Hispanics, since we are hoping of Democrats to give you legal documents, we always go and register as a Democrat. Can a person that already registered as a Democrat kind of turn around and register as a Republican?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's what people have to do. Mm-hmm.
Yep. They just need to change their registration. It's switching parties.
Okay.
But here's what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Norma Torres and the people behind her are not dumb. So they have entered a doctor from Nicaragua into the race to split my vote. So they've entered a guy who's pro-communist, but he's entered as a Republican. To split the Republican side of the vote in the primary.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what are people? Why he's from Nicaragua? He's a doctor, I believe, and what it has to do with that? I mean,
Well, if you're trying to promote communism, then you want Norma Torres to stay in office, right? Because she's a communist. So that's and he's working with. Actually, it hurts to say this, but he's working with the Republican Party, who is working with the Democratic Party to keep me from unseating Norma Torres.
Yeah.
So I've got a number of enemies here.
Yeah.
Really, it kind of reminds me, from what I understand, with President Bukele, how he was fighting, Arena and
FMLN.
FMLN, and had to go to create a third party. I'm not going to create a third party, but I'm at war with both parties.
Yeah.
Because we're both doing the right thing. We're both trying to do the right thing, and people who are in it for themselves don't want people like me to succeed.
So what? Once you win the primary, then what's going to happen?
Well, then we go to the general election, the midterms, they're called, in November. November 3rd will be the midterms. And then it will be Norma Torres and myself going head to head. And she's got George Soros behind her.
Yeah, well, I know that. We know that guy. Yeah, we know that in Salvador, yeah.
George Soros has attacked me with Norma Torres multiple times. So President Bukele and I both have that in common as well. Because they're afraid of us. Because we're actually trying to fix things.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about it and getting insider tips so I can buy more stock and stuff like that. We're trying to fix things and make people's lives better. And I don't want them to be in fear. That's what I'm doing. And that terrifies them. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Only an evil person would be against me.
And one important thing that people needs to know is that, and I'm guilty on this, when we go to vote, we go to the ballot and we start voting, and then we go like, oh, so-and-so, his last name is Lopez. I'm going to vote for him because he has a Hispanic last name. Do you think the same thing is happening also with Norma Torres, that people from District 35 go there and go like, oh, Norma Torres, I don't know who she is. I don't know what she does, but it sounds Spanish for me. I'm going to vote for her. Do you think Spanish needs to have more info going deep of who she is?
Yes, I think absolutely. If they go to my website, they can click on a little red button that says meet my opponent. So who am I? And this is really what it comes down to is I take party out of it, take, a white guy, gringo, blue eyes, all of that, take all of that out. Who am I and who is she? And I am pro-God. Norma Torres is not. I am pro-family. Norma Torres is not. I am pro-life. Definitely, Norma Torres is not. She is
Oh
well
yeah.
known for abortions and stuff. She pretends to
Yeah.
be a Catholic, but what
Hmm.
kind of Catholic supports abortions?
Yeah, none of
And
them.
no, no, they can't. They
Hmm.
can't. You know, that's God. That's
Yeah.
life. And I support jobs, mainly jobs that provide the ability for you to take care of the family. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want people on government assistance and standing in food lines and gas to be $7 a gallon and kids
Oh
out of
yeah.
school. These are all the things that Norma Torres promotes. And I
Yeah.
am against that. And I'm pro police. I want
Oh
the
yeah.
securities. I want our communities to be safe. I want a father to have the ability to have a gun in the house in case someone breaks into his house. I don't want all these homeless people doing drugs in front of schools and kids. And these are all the things that have happened under Norma Torres
Yeah.
and her party. They are
Yeah.
destroying the world.
No worry. Yeah, exactly. Can you tell us about some demographics of the District 35? Because I know some people live in California. They go like, we're gonna vote against her, but only people that live in the District 35 can vote for the District 35, right? For both of you
That is,
guys, right?
that is correct.
Okay. So what's the demographics in the way that do you guys in District 35 have more Hispanics or is more mix or is more Americans? You know how the demographic is on District
Yes,
35?
it's primarily it's almost 60% Hispanic Latino.
So we need
That's
to
all it is.
they need to know who you are. I mean,
Yes, they absolutely need to know who I am. And here's the truth. I don't speak Spanish. It's not my primary language, but I'm mastered the English language. So if the people who are in 35 want to be represented appropriately in Washington, D.C., you need someone who is going to represent them in English because the laws are in English. All of the debates are in English. And if you're
yep.
not a master of the English language, then someone's going to take advantage of you in Washington, D.C. So you want someone like me representing this community who's mastered the English language. But you also want someone who looks like me, the white guy, the gringo, the blue eyes, because people aren't going to say, oh, you're out for yourself. You know, you're just trying to do this politically. No, I'm doing this for my community. I don't even look like my community, but we think the same. We
Yeah.
have the same values. And that's where I want everyone to understand we've got to get off of the skin color and heritage and all that stuff. What is important to you? And that is the message I take to Washington, D.C., because what's important to me is important to you. And we do not have a voice right now for the values that we have for ourselves and our family.
Yeah. So yeah. That's important to know because, like I mentioned before, we don't have like a leader that we can go there and say, okay, you can represent us. So we need that. So finally, what would you say if you win the in November? What would be your message to President Bukele if he'll listen to you? What will you tell him?
First of all, thank you. And how can I work with you?
Yeah.
Because I think he has such potential in all of Central America. I have some ideas, but I don't want to share them right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I see President Bukele as a unique leader in a unique time who's just beginning his full potential. So rather than working against him like Norma Torres and the Biden administration,
Yes.
my first thing would be, how can I help you? Because what you're doing is working. And then what can we do to take what you're doing there and make the 35th and California the best it could be? Because it is suffering the same problems that El Salvador used to suffer from.
Yeah. Man, that would be nice. That would be nice to see that, to see you winning. But things has to happen first. But yeah, that's what we need. We need a leader like you. I know President Bukele will appreciate that a lot because it has, a lot of Democrats against him, and we're dealing with that. I mean, not only President Bukele, but all of us that live in the United States, that we call the diaspora, which is the Salvadorians living in the United States, we're all living and dealing with that. So the last question that I have for you, what you think about Bitcoin?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it because President Bukele was one of the first world leaders to understand this is something to guard against what Joe Biden, Norma Torres are doing to the US dollar. And he was smart enough to see it as a wall of protection for his country against the failing US dollar. So I absolutely celebrate what he did. And I hope, and I know other world leaders are watching and following his example. But from my heart, I hope we turn the United States around and the dollar gets the strength back. And then you have both currencies working in the way they should. But I absolutely applaud his out-of-the-box thinking.
Yeah, out of the box. Mike, a pleasure. Thank you so much to be here. I hope that we have more interviews after the primary, close to the election, and to get people to know you. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next one.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
All right. Bueno, muchachos, aquí está, vieron la entrevista. Como él acaba de decir ahorita, pues necesitamos un líder, o sea, necesitamos alguien en el que nosotros podamos ir y decir, necesitamos que él nos represente, porque ahorita no sabemos a dónde ir en tema de inmigración y muchas cosas, así de que aquí se los dejo para que lo conozcan. Recuerden que los del distrito 35 se tienen que registrar como republicanos. Así que, señores, aquí se los dejo, van a venir más entrevistas con él. Nos vemos, señores. Adiós, adiós, y Mike, you can say hi, bye to people. Adiós, adiós, nos vemos. See you later.